Hey, welcome back. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a bloody good day. Right, I'm back with part 3 of the Accent Expert Gives Tour of North American Accents by Wired. I'm already subscribed, I'll give it a like. And thanks for correcting me, Di Butler. I said D Butler. I thought it was all one word, but no, it's Di Butler. Thank you very much, I appreciate you. And yeah, I've been reading through the comments. I haven't replied to them yet because I can read them while I'm on the move, do you know what I mean? But it's harder to reply to. But yeah, Passio, thank you for explaining the pidgin language, how it all works. I read through all that, so thanks, mate. Right, let's get on with it. Oh, I need my earphones. Otherwise, I'm not going to bloody know what the accent sounds like. Yeah, and everyone was saying in the comments as well, this guy's legit. I didn't even mention, did I, in the video, how well he is at all these accents. But I said as well, I think he's actually Canadian, because he said something that sounded Canadian, but I don't know. No one answered in the comments, so if you know, let me know, please.
Hi, Eric Singer, dialect coach.
Hello.
The map tour of North American accents continues. If you missed parts 1 and 2, you can check them out here. We're diving into part 3 from the West. Let's talk about California. Let's talk about Southern California. Another part of the country where we have some really exciting ongoing change. So just like in some contemporary English accents, a more open oral posture, a lower jaw is lowering some vowel sounds, most noticeably the dress and trap vowels. There are a bunch of vowel sounds moving around here. Goose and goat can both be very fronted.
Goose and goat.
And the short I vowel, the kit vowel, is being split in two. Before NG, it's likely to sound like E, so thing, going, just like the rest of the West, but otherwise it's lowered like dress and trap. So bid gets closer to bed, miss begins to sound like mess, and so on. So of course, if you take this accent and like turn the dial up to 11, we're talking about a stereotypical surfer accent, like sort of a Bill and Ted's kind of thing.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
You can hear that in a clip here when they say excellent, that's a lower dress vowel.
Excellent, excellent,
excellent.
It's very much change in progress, so stay tuned. And of course, LA County has the highest Latinx population in the country.
Absolutely love them films, I do, Bill and Ted.
So I'm going to turn this over to Megan again.
Hi again. Now I'm going to talk about Chicano English. The majority of Chicano English speakers reside in the US Southwest and California, and in Chicago. Chicano English is heavily influenced by Mexican Spanish.
Never heard of Chicano English before. Again, why I'm here, innit?
Spanish has been in this region longer than English has. In 1848, Mexico ceded this land to the US. Because of this history, Mexican Spanish has been
when I'm looking up there, I still can see. I'm just making sure everything's recording and doing the things it's supposed to.
Influencing the English of the area for a really long time. One of my favorite features is devoicing of word final Z. So the sound Z is a voiced sound. You can actually tell if you put your finger...
Z. Yeah, Z for us, isn't it? I think that'll be a struggle. I hear it all the time. I understand, do you know what I mean? American movies and all of that. I know you guys say Z. But it's like, it makes words like, you say zebra, we say zebra. So it's things like that. I don't know. Zebra. I wonder how that I know it was Webster that changed the dictionary over there, wasn't it? I know that.
Ears here right by your throat and you do the Z sound, zzz, you'll feel vibration. With devoicing, we use the voiceless equivalent, which is an S. So the Z sounds at the end of words turn into more of an S sound. You can hear this devoicing in the plural form of chair. Chairs becomes chairs. You can hear that feature here.
He did things, he did things, he did things.
Another remarkable...
How do I say chairs? Chairs. I think mine does sound like it's got a Z on the end, a Z on the end. Chairs. 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 I'm not even sure. I can't even tell.
Feature of Chicano English is that there's less vowel reduction. So it's a little subtle, but I'll try to show you how it sounds. I say because, and someone who would reduce the vowel would say...
I'd say because. Because.
I say together, and someone would reduce the vowel to together. Today, today. You can hear the features in this native speaker clip.
To hear, and to listen to everyone.
Thanks, Megan. While we're in the Southwest with Chicano English, let's make a quick stop in the Navajo Nation. Kalina?
On this stop...
That one was probably the easiest distinctions in all the linguistic stuff that I've seen in any of the videos so far. Because they are very subtle. To be a linguistic, it has to be a linguist. I bet it's really hard, isn't it? It has to be.
We will be visiting the traditional homelands of the Navajo people in the Four Corners area. The same devoicing feature found in Chicano English can also be found in Navajo English. You can hear a native speaker here.
I want him to recognize all Indian tribes.
The second feature here is a glottal replacement of final consonants. You can hear the glottal stop instead of a T.
Well, I want it to hear.
Back to Eric.
Ear.
Thank you, Kalina. Next up, here's Nicole
That proper heard that. What to ear?
to talk about African American language in California.
We know that African Americans in California participate in local features such as ooh fronting and up talk. You can hear that here.
I'm Imani Dorn. Tuesdays,
Dorn.
too soon to do that. Tuesdays.
A 2016 study found bat retraction.
And I think I am guilty as one of them ones. You've all seen the meme, haven't you? Tuesday. I definitely say Tuesday. CH. Tuesday. Tuesday. Like Wednesday, no one says Wednesday, do they? Actually, I hear posh people all say it. I don't know. Wednesday. Wednesday. Tuesday.
Or the A vowel being pronounced further back in the mouth among Bakersfield
Tuesday, innit?
African Americans. You can hear that in this clip.
I'll be right back, and then we can stack those boxes. Right back.
And now the map tour continues.
I let it out. We're back.
African Americans. You can hear that in this clip.
I'll be right back, and then we can stack those boxes. Right back.
And now the map tour continues with Eric.
It's the boxers one that sounds most different to me. It says
Bakersfield
boxers.
African Americans. You can hear that in this clip.
I'll be right back, and then we can stack those boxes. Right back.
And now the map tour continues.
Right back didn't sound that different to me, but the boxers really did.
Continues with Eric.
As we move north from California, up in the Pacific Northwest, we've definitely got that caught merger. They sound the same up here, just like they do everywhere in the West and in Canada. But one thing you hear a lot up here is a lip-rounded vowel for it, ah. So here we might talk about a hot pot. Oh, there's a little pocket around San Francisco that doesn't have the caught merger, by the way. So unlike the whole rest of California, the whole West Coast really, cod and caught sound distinct here, like they do in most of the South and the East. Just a little dialect island. Up over the border in Vancouver, you'll hear that same lot rounding, but you'll also start to get raising and tensing in the trap vowel when it comes right before a g sound, like in bag, agriculture, flag. Similar to what you can hear over in Minnesota. Speaking of Minnesota again, there's a fascinating dialect pocket in Alaska, the Matanuska-Susitna Valley, that can sound uncannily like those broad Minnesota accents. A lot of people suddenly noticed this in 2008 when Sarah Palin, the former governor of Alaska, shot to national fame as the Republican vice presidential nominee. You can see that here in this clip.
I appreciate this privilege of being able to be here and speak with Americans.
We want to keep our AAA bonding rating in Minnesota.
It turns out that in the 1930s,
I can't really...
in this clip.
I appreciate this privilege of being able to be here and speak with Americans.
We want to keep our AAA bonding rating in Minnesota.
It turns out that in the 1930s, there was a huge migration of farmers to the Matsu Valley from Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. So that's how that happened. Okay, back to Canada. Now, Kalina's originally from the Northwest Territories. Let's go back to her.
There are 9 official languages spoken in the Northwest Territories, including Norse Slavey, which is a part of the Athabascan language family. I'm inspired by the many revitalization efforts by our people.
Didn't know that. I thought there was like 2 or 3. I didn't know there was that many.
To save our languages. For example, Language Nest in Hawaii. This is where young people are immersed in the language every day with elders in the community. Another revitalization method is a translation of popular television shows and movies into Indigenous languages. Because of all of this, I have tremendous hope for both the future of our Native American languages and of Native American English.
Thank you, Kalina. Okay, let's go to Toronto, and let's talk for just a minute about probably the most famous Canadian accent feature there is. It's called Canadian raising. though you may not have heard it called that, but you're probably familiar with oot and a boot, yeah?
Absolutely.
Of course, Canadians aren't
That's the only thing that helps me distinguish, really. I struggle, right? If you watch the last couple, the first two that I've reacted to this, I said that I really struggle. Before times of YouTube and all that, when I used to watch TV, I could tell who was talking, which country they were from, with their English accent, which English-speaking nation they were from. But these days, I struggle when I'm watching YouTube. And this is, when I hear someone say oot or a boot, I instantly know the Canadian, instantly.
actually saying oot and a boot. What they're doing is raising the start of the diphthong in words like out and about, so that instead of it starting very open, ow, it's starting from somewhere in the...
I'm just realising, I think a lot of people, including me, say oot and a boot, ironically, not mockingly, just I'm off oot. I don't know, but actually no, Scottish people do it as well, don't they? They say oot and a boot. So I'd say, yeah, it might be more because of the Scottish. I don't know. I ain't got a clue. But yeah, I know that I say it ironically.
Middle of the mouth. O. It only affects syllables that end in an unvoiced consonant. So words like out, about, house, mouth. In words like
Moose,
how,
loose, about this
now,
is.
loud, rouse, Canadians still use that wide ow diphthong. Canadian raising isn't only in that class of words, though, the mouth vowel. It also affects the price vowel in the same way, so that the starting point of words like right, life, type, mice can get raised too. But words like rise, five, tide, fly keep their full I diphthong. You can hear the contrast between both of those if I say something like, that's a fine price for a brown house. So out in the Atlantic provinces of Canada, we'll hear accents that are in some cases almost unrecognizably different from what you'll hear in most of the rest of Canada. And once again, isolation and length of time are the key factors here. Newfoundland accents are maybe the most distinctly different of all. I'm giving this one a go even though I've never done it before, so be gentle please, you Newfies. Now there's lots of variation here, of course, and most younger folks aren't going to sound...
It sounds somewhat Irish, if not quite a lot Irish. But yeah, you're doing a good job on it, assuming that it sounds like this.
Like this. But this would be an accent from the far southeast of Newfoundland, down below St. John's. We could go on about this one all day. Sounds a bit Irish, doesn't it? This part of Newfoundland was in fact settled by Irish people, mostly from County Wexford. There's quite a lot of reasons why this particular old Newfoundland accent sounds Irish. Vowel sounds, of course, intonation, aspiration. From County Wexford. There's quite a lot of reasons why this particular old Newfoundland accent sounds Irish. Vowel sounds, of course, intonation, aspiration, but you'll also hear the Irish slit T. What's a slit T? It's a T sound made with a very soft closure at the tip of the tongue, or not even really quite a full closure at all. There's a slit left for the air to escape through. What? That. Hit it. I could stay here all day, but it's about time to wrap this up. So let's dip back down across the border back into the States and end close to where we started, in northeastern New England. I remember that caught merger. Well, the whole western US has it, and all of Canada, and so does this part of New England. Goes down about as far as Boston. Rhode Island doesn't generally have it, but here in Maine, you've got that caught merger, so all the vowel sounds in those two big groups of words are merged. They all sound like aw here. You know what doesn't all sound the same, though? Mary, marry, and Mary. Now, they do in my normal accent, Mary, Mary, Mary. And the same is true for almost all of North America, but most speakers up here still have distinct pronunciation.
I think I sound differently. Mary, 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 Mary. Kind of sound the same. Mary, Mary, Mary. I can feel and hear the difference myself, and I suppose people that, even when it does sound the same to other people, it sounds different to the person speaking it, I imagine. See, that probably sounded extremely similar to you, Mary, Mary, Mary. But to me it sounds very different. Otherwise I won't be trying to say different.
Mary, marry, Mary. Even more interestingly, at least in some older folk speech still, the historical distinction between horse and horse is still preserved.
Horse.
So if your horse has a sore throat, you might have a hoarse horse. You can still hear this distinction in parts of Ireland and Scotland and parts of the US South, but that's about it. This is one of the last places you'll hear it. And that's it. That's our last stop. So, listen, let me just say again, this is not meant to be a comprehensive tour of all North American accents. We've tried to be at least somewhat representative and to include some insights into how and why accents might differ from place to place. I sincerely want to thank all of the linguists and language experts who've helped out. And if you want to follow them, here they are one more time.
You can find me on Twitter at Megan D. Figueroa, and you can also find me at my podcast, The Vocal Fries Pod.
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Mixed Linguist.
If you want to learn more about the Gullah language and what I'm getting into, follow me on Instagram at @SunbaShow, Twitter @SunbaShow, or sunbashow.com.
You can find me at AmaniDoranDialects.com.
This video would have had to be about 10 times longer if it were really going to be systematic and thorough. But these are some sounds I love,
even longer
and some
than 10
things I
times,
think are
I imagine.
interesting, and I had a lot of fun sharing it with you. If I
No, I had
piqued
a
your
lot of
interest
fun
about
watching it.
accents and variation, here are some cool resources for finding out more, and we'll throw some more in the description below.
Right, yeah. Enjoyed watching all three of them, so thanks again, Di Butler. Right, again, it's going to take some time before I can start recognising accents from different areas and stuff like that. But as I say, it's all, I have to unlearn what my brain has done, and all English speaking people sound somewhat the same to me now, apart from Canadians, when they say about. But anyway, if you made it this far, give us a thumbs up if you want to, put stuff in the comments for me to read and react to, and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye, bye bye.